It was a time when Georgia was at the heels of the economic depression. Many might say it was a time when people felt the shackles of hopelessness and despair. During this time in the early 1900s, a group of concerned parishioners came together and took initiative to provide a pathway to hope. In 1903, St. Vincent de Paul Georgia was born in Atlanta. Fast forward to 120 years later, SVDP Georgia is one of the state's oldest, largest, and most trusted social service organization, helping those facing poor economic conditions and other hardships head on. Serving individuals throughout Georgia regardless of their age, race, beliefs, or orientation. While you're watching this video, there are over 1.2 million people facing hunger in Georgia right now, and the numbers continue to rise. Sadly, the greatest risks are faced by children and seniors. More than 500,000 Georgian renters are behind on their rent, and millions of adults have trouble covering basic household expenses.
Sometimes I didn't know, was I gonna be able to pay my rent? Where were me and my girls gonna go?
The fact that 17% of Georgia's population lives below the federal poverty line is disheartening. These aren't just the statistics, friends. They are people, your brothers, your sisters, your neighbors in need.
I try not to keep emotional, but it's tough. I remember my kids were just so happy, like even to eat food on the floor, just because it's like we have a home.
There are more than 1 million people in Georgia who do not have health insurance, and nearly half of Georgians live in a state of fear that at any given moment, a major health event could lead to the downfall of bankruptcy.
Hey, Mr. Crumpler. Good, how are you?
One of the things to keep me fighting, I know that my medications are stable, and so that's going to stabilize me, and I'm stabilized through St. Vincent de Paul.
Do you remember when the world was shaken by this?
Coronavirus officially hitting the U.S. Here's what we know.
The number of job losses was historic and widespread, forcing people to ask for help during this time.
They laid off about 1,000 people at my job.
Needing more financial help than ever.
They were able to assist. It was a breath of fresh air.
During this tragic time, St. Vincent de Paul Georgia was at the forefront, ready with staff members and a statewide network of trained volunteer caseworkers. SVDP Georgia provided help to more than 45,000 households experiencing financial hardships. This year, SVDP Georgia Community Pharmacy hit its $2 million milestone in prescriptions within 2 years of opening, becoming the only statewide charitable pharmacy in Georgia providing free prescription medication. It's these breakthroughs that SVDP Georgia strives for, so we can continue to offer resources to those who need them the most.
You really give them a light and some hope that everything is going to be okay and that they will be able to get through the struggle.
Making everyone feel right at home in any language.
Ustedes valen la pena y estamos aquí para ayudarles.
SVDP Georgia could not do all of this work without the labor of love of its 75 local service hubs across the state, staffed by 3,500 plus trained volunteer caseworkers. In 1 year, SVDP Georgia's volunteers have worked more than 1.3 million hours to help serve those in need.
There's no other organization that has the breadth of reach that we do and the volunteer organization that we do.
And a very special thank you goes to our donors, who without them, this would not be possible.
There's all kinds of ways that you can help to continue to do the work that we do throughout the entire state of Georgia.
120 years later, we are still committed. With your support, this legacy can continue another 120 years. Will you join us today? Will you step up to the call? Providing help and hope to neighbors in need.